Some stats and facts right here, right now. 1590 WAKR Akron News Talk Sports. We'd love for you guys to jump in on the conversation. As always, 330-370-1590. You can call it or text that same number to the White House Chicken text line. Again, 330-310-1590, the number to call. I don't know why I blinked on that all of a sudden. I was about to say my cell phone number, which is the best thing to be throwing around left and right. I don't know why that creeped in there.
Yeah, you don't want groupies calling you or anything like that.
Right, yeah, no, don't need that. I was trying, I guess the reason being, I'm looking on my cell phone right now, trying to get a accurate current temperature outside, because a little thingy behind us, it's not a legit, it's like a thermometer / clock situation we got going on here. And it says 79 degrees
It is pretty warm in here.
You were out there more recently than I. Is that accurate? Is it really? Because I haven't been outside.
It's not 79 outside for sure. It's definitely not 79.
I didn't think it was. Now it feels maybe closer to 79 in here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's probably close to what, 70 out there?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I would say high to, mid to high 60s.
I'm living that up. I am living that
nice.
up right now, man. It is nice outside. Yeah. For those who didn't know, I was out this past weekend. I was actually out in the Bay Area in California, Oakland, San Francisco, and the most common question I've gotten since coming back from California was, what was the weather like? It's always weather. It's not that much warmer, folks. It was about this the whole time I was out there. Rained one of the days. Only difference, you got some palm trees and the ocean out there.
It looks a lot different.
And some naked trees out here during the winter months. But yeah, it definitely looks a lot different.
Looks different, feels the same.
Temperature-wise, man, it feels the exact same. Man. Everyone's always like, oh, yeah, no, beautiful out there, beautiful. It really fluctuates. People were telling me between 50 and 80 degrees, really, out there. That's about it, which, I mean, for a lot of us, that's perfect, right? Like, that's one wardrobe that we have to have. That's one season that we have to dress for. We don't have to be buying a new winter coat every November and then switching up the summer wardrobe once late April rolls around. Like, no.
So it's
all good out there.
So they're fall/winter months. The lowest is 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could do that.
Until you get now. There's like certain like mountainous regions, from what I gathered, where they actually do get like a little bit of snow and this and that. But yeah, as far as like down from those mountains go, like in the actual bay, the coldest it really gets is like high 40s, low 50s, which
we really haven't had bad winters the last couple of winters. I gauge it just by how many times I have to shovel my driveway.
Now see, if you were doing it by snowfall,
it has.
I would agree with you. Yeah, it's been pretty mild.
I only shoveled my driveway twice over this.
I believe it. Yeah. We didn't get hit with like too many of those big blizzards. I will say, it gets really stinking cold, even on days where we don't see any precipitation or any snow. If it's -2 degrees out there, it hurts, man.
It is.
It hurts the face. You got to wear one of those ski masks and everything. Like,
bone chilly. But I went to school in Iowa, so I kind of got used to 10 below. 15, but that was and I was a lot younger then too. I was a lot younger, so I could tolerate a little more back then.
Little tough guy running around. Yeah, man. Freezing cold Iowa.
Of course.
I feel you. Man. Got a lot on the ledger today, though. Of course, the Cleveland Indians have been at the forefront of a lot of conversation lately. Not in a positive light at all, with Paul Dolan, the owner, coming out and saying what he said earlier this week. Well, I haven't even gotten your raw thoughts on that. What was your initial reaction to hearing that earlier?
I mean, does this guy really even, first of all, does he even like baseball? I mean, like, come on, like, is this your hobby? Is it just something that, a dream?
It's very dismissive, it seems like, for him, right? It's just sort of an aside for him, because if he's coming out and really claiming, we lose money as far as this organization is concerned more than we make money. Well, obviously, he's got something else going, because he has to be making money somehow, some way. So, I'm with you. It brings into question, how much love for baseball and for the Cleveland Indians does he truly really have?
Right, and the city and fans should hold him accountable, dude. And if you don't want to be here, this is something that's on the back burner of however many ventures you have or businesses or whatever. Do something to off it or whatever you got to do, and put it in some hands of some guys or people that want to see some championships come around.
This is sort of the territory that Jimmy and Dee Haslam were starting to float towards. Remember with what was their airline company called?
Airline?
Or whatever it was that they had, where they got in some legal trouble.
Maybe like 2 years ago, something like that, 2-3 years ago.
When that all kind of came out, Flying J, whatever it was, I can't remember. But either way, it sort of seemed like his interests and focus and priorities were more with that side of things as opposed to the Browns and football and getting the right people in place. I think that narrative has changed quite a bit when you look at the personnel, both player-wise and coach-wise,
right,
and front office-wise for that matter, that
he
brought into Cleveland now with John Dorsey, of course, as the general manager. It seems like their focus and priorities have shifted a lot more towards football. And the Browns more so than anything else, which is a really great thing.
Yeah.
You love to see that from an owner. And I heard something earlier this week that really, I think we tend to forget because we've been comparing owners a lot this week, right? There's really no such thing as the perfect owner. There's always going to be some issues. It's tough, right, to strike that balance between budgeting and saying, screw it, we're going to spend it all to try and win, like Dan Gilbert sort of embraces at times. So there's really no such thing as a perfect owner. My biggest thing with this Dolan situation has been and will continue to be, you mentioned the fans. How out of touch with your fan base can you be if you're Paul Dolan right now when the whole offseason, right, it's been nothing but why are we spending money? Why are we letting these guys walk? Look at all these other teams in the division getting better while we get worse. We're cutting payroll all of a sudden, whereas we've been spending less. Like, why? Why all this?
Going backwards.
Yeah. And then you come out and say that.
Yeah.
Saying, enjoy Frankie Lindor because, the day we hand out a $300 million contract is the day when other teams are giving out billion-dollar contracts. And it's just, sort of implying that he's probably not going to be here after his 3-year deal is up. And I just, again, on the tails of all that criticism all off-season long, to put this kind of bow on that, I just, it strikes a bad chord with me.
Yeah.
And it strikes a bad chord with a lot of fans, a lot of media members as well. I mean, there is a big growing sense of frustration because we talk about that championship window, right? That's the biggest thing, especially in small market baseball, because with football and basketball, you have the salary cap, so it's a little more fair, I guess you could say. But baseball, small market teams, you got to do it a little differently, and to sort of, seemingly be calling it quits early on a championship window that's open. I don't know, Eric. That's a really good way to see attendance continue to suffer at Progressive Field this summer.
Yeah, and they say if you give a person enough rope, they'll hang themselves. And this guy, hey man, it just seems like he does this just isn't his thing. You know what I mean? Like owners, if this is your thing, I would even like to know how many games has he even actually been to? You know what I mean? Right. Are you really there? Are you watching the team? Are you watching the crowd and the fans and just being in the atmosphere and just soaking it all that up?